Hey, I'm Zach Person, and today I'm here in LA hanging out with my friends from Guitar Center, checking out the Gibson Les Paul Studio in wine red. I'm an indie rock artist based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been playing and singing my whole life, and I just released my sophomore album titled Let's Get Loud. My very first electric guitar was an Epiphone Les Paul Standard. From an early age, that was an iconic instrument shape that I saw on stages. My very first concert I ever went to was a Dweezil Zappa concert, and he had a cherry red SG on stage. And so I think the Les Paul, the SG, those shapes have just kind of been burned into my memory since I was a little kid. And as of recent, I've commonly played Les Paul Juniors, Les Paul Specials. I've just been a big fan of what Gibson's been putting out. The Les Paul has a really distinct sound. It's been captured on numerous recordings throughout history. It's something that I don't think will ever go away or ever go out of style. It's kind of a classic thing, and it's definitely a tool that I reach for when I'm looking for, that sound, the Les Paul sound. The way that I look at instruments and approach them for a certain job, it's kind of how hard do you want to work to get, to a certain EQ curve, or how hard do you want to work to achieve the sound that's in your mind. And with humbuckers, it's awesome to be able to just show up to a gig with any amp and know that you're going to be able to push the front end of an amp that you get in glorious sustain, no matter what situation you're put in. I'm a fan of more stripped back, more simple guitars coming from, my background of playing specials and juniors. Something like this is really appealing to me. Although I am a fan of bindings. And so I was really happy to see that this includes trapezoid inlays and bound rosewood fingerboard. It really catches your eye. So today I brought my pedal board and we're running through a Rat El Capistan delay and reverb just for a little bit of space, and then this Marshall JTM 45 and matching 412 cab. So first, we're going to check out a few of the different pickup positions with these Burstbucker Pro pickups. And we're going to start on the bridge with the cleanish sort of sound. What I really like about this bridge pickup is that I'm able to get a range of sounds. It's not just a one-trick pony. It handles clean as well as dirty. I live on the bridge pickup. A good bridge pickup is something that is vital to me. This one does the job and then some. Typically, I've gone with the more old school approach when it comes to getting your drive. I normally have a drive on all the time and just work my bridge volume control to get a range of sounds, everything from solo to clean, more so than flicking back and forth through pedal settings for different levels of distortion and gain. Quickly, I'll demonstrate how I would typically use a bridge pickup in a Les Paul style guitar. I'm going to be using the Proco Rat as my main drive and then playing with the volume to get a range of sounds. cool feature with this Les Paul Studio is the addition of coil tapping in a push-pull sort of setup. These are hot Alnico 5 pickups, so it's nice to be able to have the flexibility to coil tap and get something closer to a vintage PAF sort of sound. I'm a fan of more low output style pickups. You get more touch, sensitivity, more dynamics. Let's check it out. The difference is very apparent when you engage the push-pull. It gets you that more dynamic, lesser output, more vintagey style tone, which I'm a huge fan of. Moving over to the neck pickup, we're gonna check out some clean sounds. I'm gonna start fully engaged, and then halfway through, I'll move over to the coil tap so we can hear the difference. So as you can hear, that coil tap really brings out those more single coil sort of characteristics that we're all familiar with. You know, I can see a feature like this in a studio situation, you know, where I'm showing up and want to be able to get a lot of different sounds out of one instrument. It's nice to be able to have the powerhouse, bridge, and neck, but to be able to then cross over and get a sound you wouldn't expect. An effect that I love to use with the neck pickup is octave fuzz. It just seems to always really shine when you're playing around the 12th fret and you engage, you know, an octave fuzz. So as you can tell, I prefer more vintage style things. So having these vintage deluxe tuners featuring the keystone buttons is a nice touch for me. It's iconic. It's something that a lot of players have seen for years and years. So it's very comforting to be able to look down and see that. It feels very familiar. So now moving into the middle position, let's check out and see what sounds we can get. Again, with an instrument like this, between the two pickup positions and the coil tapping, the sounds are kind of endless. So in the middle position, like I said, with the coil tapping, you have so many possibilities. I was enjoying just there, getting some more twangy sort of sounds and what's almost like more full-bodied, almost acoustic qualities out of what combinations are available. While we're here, let's check out one more pedal. I've had this on my pedal board for almost 10 years now, and it's an octave pedal from T-Rex Effects, and it's called the Quint Machine. Les Pauls historically have not been known to be very lightweight instruments. This guitar features Gibson's ultra-modern, weight-relieved mahogany body and is a really comfortable weight. I don't like guitars to be too light. I feel like they need to have some sort of weight to feel substantial, and this one does it. It feels solid, but it's not killing your back if you're on stage for a few hours at a time. It still feels comfortable. I could definitely see myself using this guitar in all sorts of different spaces. Live, it would be amazing. In the studio, it's kind of a do everything guitar. If I was in a position where I had just one guitar to bring that could do it all, I would feel comfortable, having this as my one guitar, because you can do so much with it. If you want to learn more about the Gibson Les Paul Studio, go to guitarcenter.com, contact one of their expert gear advisors, or check it out yourself at your local GC.